Welcome to episode 51 of Regen Rovers, where today we're going to be playing our last two league matches of the season. Unfortunately, there isn't much to play for heading into the last two games of this season. We're in 13th place. We can basically either finish 13th or 14th unless some sort of crazy goal swing happens. Pretty much no chance of finishing 11th or 12th, as you can see there. Overall, it's been a good season, and that brings me on to question of the day. Now, I know you've been used to lots of success lately. 2 promotions in a row, champions twice in a row, lots of goals scored. This year, not quite up to that level, but remember we're playing in a much harder division and we're predicted to finish bottom. I'm really happy with a mid-table finish, but I want you guys to let me know your thoughts on the season. A few people did put their thoughts in the last video, but I'd like to get a general consensus. What is your opinion of this season? Are there any players that you think underperformed or played very well, or you think maybe this level of the National League is just a bit too high a level for certain players? Are there players that you would release if you were in charge? You know, there's players down here with quite poor average rating. I mean, Agu's down there, even though he is, I think, fourth top goal scorer this season. He's still scoring goals. He's got 100 goals for the club, because his 13th goal was his 100th goal for the club. Not done so well lately. But I think those sorts of players we just have to keep because of nostalgia. And he is still scoring goals. You know, Alec McCann has continued to score goals and get assists. Hancock, our back at right back, has actually got a higher rating than Marcus Higgins, who has really dropped off lately. You know, captain, last 2 seasons he was player of the year. But yeah, he's dropped off. Okoro's been consistent. I mean, I think the National League is his level. I'm not sure he'll be able to progress past this point. But yeah, just let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Of course, next episode, we're going to do a YouTube premiere. Make sure you tune in at 5 o'clock to watch that one tomorrow. It won't be live. I've explained this before. YouTube premiere, I record prior to uploading, but you can react live in the chat as if it's live. It's just a bit of fun. It's been very enjoyable so far. So make sure you watch the York City FA Trophy Final, our first ever match at Wembley. That is huge. Regen Rovers going up to London to play at Wembley against the champions of the National League. They are by far and away the favourites for this, but perhaps we can win our first ever cup competition. That would be magnificent. Anyway, since the last episode where we did beat Chesterfield in the FA Trophy semi-finals to get through to that final, we've only lost 1 game, but we've only won 1 game. Lots of tired players in the squad. We've played so many games this season. So I brought Corey Hines back into the first team, and he managed to score 2 goals, and he should have had a hat-trick because he missed a penalty late on. I asked it, you know, when a player's on a hat-trick, they automatically take a penalty unless you say so. But that's a great finish for the first goal, and the second goal wasn't too bad either. Hasn't scored all season, and then it suddenly scores 2 in a game, and he turns it around and wins us all 3 points. Nice finish there as well. And he scored another goal against Sutton United. It was only a consolation goal in the end. Let's have a look at this one. Then Owusu crossed it in. Decent header from Hines at the back stick. And since then we've had 2 1-1 draws. First draw against Wrexham, decent result. A little bit unfortunate because they managed to equalise right at the death. Paul McCann got a goal though, which was pleasing. Alec McCann has returned from his Scottish international duty for the under-19s, which is a massive boost for the cup final. And then a 1-1 draw against Boreham Wood as well. Of course, the team we've got Ian Donnelly on loan from after they signed him permanently. Elliot Avison unmarked at the back stick, managing to get a draw. I mean, it was an early goal. They got back into it. A little bit disappointing that once again we threw away a 1-0 lead. But I think that's one of our problems this season. We haven't been able to hold on to results quite the same as we have previously. Chesterfield are, of course, looking for revenge against us for us defeating them in the FA Trophy. This is the team I'm going with. Okoro in goal. Higgins at right back, but I do have to start to think maybe Hancock should be first choice. Look at the last 5 games. 6.6 from Higgins, 7.38 from Hancock. I'm going to play Hancock in the last league game of the season, Higgins in this game. We've got a 2-week gap, so it doesn't really matter who plays in which order because there's plenty of time for all the squad to rest ahead of that cup final. I suppose that's a problem that I don't know my best 11 at the moment. You know, Halliday came into the first team, played magnificently well for a few games. He's dropped off. Assini is now... There's been a bit of a resurgence from Assini. I mean, Assini could play right back. There's options here. There are options, but I do need to try and decide what starting 11 I'm going to use in the cup final if everyone is fit. So good old Chef drove us up to Chesterfield Football Club once again for this match. You're probably wondering what's happened to him, because remember he was a coach at the club for a time. He's the club cook, he's our coach driver, he wears the Felix outfit at home matches sometimes. But he's also a football coach. He actually still is a coach. He's not done any badges, so he's going to struggle to find another club. I think he'll probably retire from footballing duties and he'll just work in the background at Regen Rovers for probably the rest of his life, to be honest. Here we go then. 2 games left to go this season. We're at the Proact Stadium in Chesterfield. They're going with a 4-4-2. We know this team well. Bradbury and Hall up front. We played them twice in the last episode, of course. Three times in 4 matches that you've seen Chesterfield. They're definitely looking for revenge. We've got one eye on the cup final, and I think some of my players are probably thinking, I don't want to get injured. I want to play at Wembley. And I don't know if suspensions is a problem as well, going over into the FA Trophy. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Yellow cards and that sort of thing. We're underway then in our green kit today. I should be wearing the green kit. I should wear the corresponding colour. Not organised enough. Here's Akora then, playing out from the back to Higgins, our captain, but he's certainly dropped off this season. A player that I need to think about his future next year. Here's Webb, great ball to Assini. Can we have a good cross from Assini? It's blocked, but it's back to Webb. Here's Elliot Avison. This is nice play. Alec McCann, his first goal for quite a few games. Struggled a bit on Scottish international duty. I noticed he got a couple, I think got 5.8 and a 5.9 playing for them, which isn't ideal on his Scotland international debut. But he's back in the goals with Regen Rovers. 23 goals here. He's going to finish as our top goal scorer once again this season. Good start to the game. Donnelly knocks it long, looking for he's found Alec McCann, who's done well here, but it's blocked unfortunately. He did have Paul McCann in the middle, playing as that deep line forward. Here's Ray for Chesterfield over the halfway line they come. This is Bradbury through. That was too easy, but somehow he's hit the post. Oh, free kick, dangerous position. Mason steps up and it's in the back of the net. So many free kicks fly in. I've been deliberating whether I should tell you this or not, because some of you might panic. David Okoro doesn't want to sign a new contract with the club. Bit of a disaster if he leaves, because he's the biggest legend of the series so far, I think, and we love him. But he doesn't want to sign. He might just revert to being on a non-contract if no one else wants him. But, please, if he leaves, I'll just be so disappointed. We've kind of switched off a bit, haven't we? Chesterfield have been the better team since our goal. Here they come. And we know long shots, edge of the box, it's dangerous. Benham cuts in, smashes it over the bar though. Now it's a corner. I mean, they're all over us here. Guys, wake up. That's over the bar. Here's Higgins. End of the first half. It's just lumped over the top. Here comes Hall. Bradbury has to score, and he does. We've been so inconsistent for the second half of this season. The first third of the season, we were in and around the playoffs. It's been a long time since we had a chance of getting into the playoffs, let's be honest. But my defence has just fallen apart far too much. Corner here, Perry Webb. Maybe we can get a goal right at the death. Donnelly, yes we do. 2-2, we're back in this. Nice delivery from Webb and a good, solid header from Donnelly at the near post. Just said happy, just to keep them. I don't want to ruin their morale ahead of the cup final. Now I'm going to swap Avison and McCann around. Both of them aren't really doing much today. We'll see if that makes a difference up front. See, Higgins, 6.2 today. Poor. Really poor from our captain. The tactic, it's the same tactic as we were playing in the 2 divisions below. And he's got far fewer assists. It's just not been as effective. And you could maybe argue it's something to do with changes in the match engine with updates. But, Paul McCann, that was a chance. Here come Chesterfield. Ray, back to Lacey. Kirby. That's a delightful ball out wide. Where's Assini? Come on, little good block, Assini. Well done. And now Perry Webb's chasing after Benham, but they're still on the wall. That's a good cross. 3-2. Goal heavy game. They've had lots of shots, haven't they? We're not quite so effective today at creating chances. I'm going to bring a Gu on. I'm going to bring him on for Paul McCann. And we're going to take Owusu off for Godwin. Oh, highlight straight away. Maybe we can get back into it straight away. That's headed away, though, by Chesterfield. Here they come. They definitely want revenge. They're the ones that are really switched on for this match as Webb. It's not a red, is it? No, it's a yellow. Good. One more sub to make. I probably should take one of the midfielders off who are on yellows. Yeah, we'll take Perry Webb off for Sean Walker. Corner. Higgins this time to take it. Crosses it in. That's a poor corner. Really poor. But Perry Miles is after it. He's been really slow. And now they can counter. Oh, that's hit Assini on the head. Bradbury charging forwards now. This looks dangerous. But Perry Miles cuts it out. Maybe we can build from here. He's knocked it long. Looking for Alec McCann. It's back. The strikers just... You know, they're... Bradbury... Oh, chipped over the bar. The strikers just... They're not switched on half the time. They don't move. It's quite frustrating, really. Okoro blasts it up the pitch. That's headed away. Assini now can take control. Into Walker. Over the top. See the strike? What are they doing? They're just dallying. Do something. That's not long. Headed away by Matthew Avison. Godwin. Into Alec McCann. Okay, now we've got our main man on the ball. It's back to Godwin. Into Perry Miles. This is nice. He's got Higgins out wide. He's had a dreadful game so far, but can he make amends? Nope, he's given the ball away. Oh my days, what has happened to him? He's like a different player altogether. Second half of this season, he's just dropped off a cliff. First half, he was up there with his average ratings. Just completely changed. Free kick, another free kick. Mason, off the cross. Well, they've been the better team, quite clearly. We don't really deserve anything from this game. They have been far superior. This is a worry. Because the tactic clearly isn't as effective now. I think away from home, actually, it's been quite poor lately. I'll have to look at the results just to check. As that's 4, it's all over. I can't be too harsh on the team. Hopefully you guys won't be too harsh on the team. I know it's compared to last season, you know, pretty awful. But just think, we're playing at a much higher level. Godwin! Yes! Only his second goal of the season. You see that? It sort of flashed. It was like a lightning strike hit the stadium just as he hit the back of the net there. It's too little too late, but... It's nice to see Godwin score. He's been a different player. I have given him a new contract, but overall, disappointing season from Raphael Godwin. But it's a classic Regen Rovers result again, isn't it? 4-3, but they had 3 times the number of shots. We had 0 clear-cut chances to their 3. They dominated the possession. Statistically, looking at these, you know, much better. We're fortunate to only lose by 1 goal. I must say, it's going to be really difficult to have 4 players up for the Player of the Season award this year. Because looking at the average ratings, Alec McCann will definitely be on there because of goals and assists, contributing to the team, best average rating. Okoro will definitely be on there. But I can't really put Hancock on there, even though he's played well, because he's only made 19 appearances. Doesn't seem quite enough to be on there. And Donnelly has a good average rating at the moment, but remember, it's combined too. I mean, I reckon he should be on there actually, because he was our best defender before he left on a free for Boreham Wood, and he has been our best defender since returning. So yeah, I think maybe Donnelly. And the 4th player, I don't know. I mean, it could be Rob Halliday because he came into the team and did very well. You could argue Marcus Higgins may be on there because of his reputation. Perry Webb's done okay, but not amazingly well. It's going to be really difficult to find a 4th player for my old Twitter Player of the Season poll. And be interesting to see what the game decides as well. I guess the thing is, the last 2 seasons we were spoiled for choice. We had so many players with really good average ratings. We have to put things into context. This season... I keep saying it, we're playing at a higher level against better opposition, so players getting over 6.9 is actually really good. So all of the players with 6.9 and above, on the whole, have had good seasons. And I actually think Owusu's played quite well, but he's only on a 6.87. It's just, you have to put things into context. We've just had some complete stinkers, especially lately. I mean, looking at the results, going down. Great start to this, unbelievable start to the season. We won our first 5 games, of course. We were running away. But then, you know, inconsistency came about around here. And the last third of the season particularly has been poor. There's very few green circles there. The last league game of the season then. Regen Rovers in 13th versus Telford in 16th. I've changed things a little bit tactically. We're going balanced. My assistant Ollie Oxborough suggested that, so we'll see how it works against Telford, and maybe we'll implement that against York. Arguably, maybe I should just go attacking because it's the Regen Rovers way. Not changed any of this. Still going with hit early crossing into the box, slightly more direct, higher tempo. Within transition, I've not changed anything. Out of possession, I've brought the defensive line back a bit. We're being hit over the top far too easily. I've also brought the line of engagement for the forwards back a bit as well. And pressing prevents short goalkeeper distribution. I'm not bothered if teams try to pass it out. I think the problem is teams are hitting it direct and we're just not dealing with it at the moment. Let them have the ball and we'll just sit back, absorb the pressure and then hit them on the break. Yeah, that's my theory anyway. So this is the journey that Telford took down to Plumbing Park in Winchester today, then just under 3-hour journey. This is the lineup I'm going with then. I'm not risking Perry Miles, he's got 1 yellow card until suspension, so I think he is our best midfielder to play in that central ball winning midfielder role. Elliot Averson is ineligible against his parent club, so we're starting with Agu, Paul McCann and Alec McCann up front. Now, Agu hasn't scored for so long. When was the last time he scored? I don't know. It's a long time ago anyway. Let's look at this Telford team then. So their top goal scorer, Sambu, 20 goals this season. Looks pretty decent. Pope on the left. He's good. Crossing 16 and that blimey. That is an exceptional winger at this level. Oh, he's on loan from Wolves, that's why. That makes sense. On the right-hand side, Bughall Mellor, who looks like an ex-Man United player. Yes, he is. Used to play for the Man United youth team. So they've got some good players. I'm surprised they're quite low with that front three. Last game of the season at Plumbing Park. Then hopefully lots of you have turned up for this match just to wish us well. Say thank you for a good, solid first season in the National League Premier. I hope you appreciate our efforts. Telford with a corner though, crossed in, back stick, headed away by Donnelly. He does well. Now Matthew Averson, the centre-back, trying to bring it clear. Where's the support for him, guys? Oh, he's done very well. Godwin into Webb, back to Owusu. Out wide to Assini, who's bombing forwards. We need a decent cross from him. He's passed it back to Godwin. Into Owusu. Back to Godwin. This is nice, intricate play. Godwin again. Are we going to have a shot though? Owusu. Knocks it out wide for Hancock, who gets forward. That's a decent looking ball and Agu. That was a chance. First half chance of the game falls to Agu, and that's, I mean, Hancock, surely it's his place for the final right back position. That'd be a massive shock. You know, no captain, Marcus Higgins, but I don't know. Unless he has an absolute mare for the rest of the game, of course, which is a possibility. They're already 1-0 up after 13 minutes. Corner to Telford. Edge of the box. Dangerous position. Curled over. Here we go, though. Webb to Hancock. Getting forwards. This is nice. Come on, Hancock. Do something, my friend. Owusu. Perry Webb. Nice ball back out to Hancock again. Can he beat his man? He's put a decent cross in. Paul McCann! Agu! Yes, he finally gets a goal. I'm glad I pointed that out before the match because it's made him score, I think. Ogachukwu Agu, our all-time top goal scorer, with his 101st goal for the club. And it's Hancock that causes the problems with a good cross. Paul McCann probably should have stuck that away, but Agu does at the second attempt. Matthew Averson just got his 10th yellow card of the season. But it didn't say anything about... Maybe the FA Trophy suspension thing's different. I hope so. We need Averson. Oh, penalty? What? I thought it was an own goal from Hancock for a second then, but no, it's a penalty instead. So Okoro has the opportunity to save this. Sambu steps up. Come on, Okoro! He saves it! He doesn't save many, but he's done well with that. It was smashed straight at him, but it was powerful. He kept it out. Okay, it's an okay first half. Motivated Okoro. Said do it for the fans. I'm going to swap Paul McCann and Alec McCann around. Let's get on with this. It's been quite an equal game. 2 half chances to us, 1 clear-cut chance to them. 9 shots to us, 7 to them. But it's a free kick. Not another free kick goal against us. That's blocked. East has a second bite. Here's Elliot. Oh, just over. Here they come again. Lads. We want something a little bit inspiring going into the cup final. Please. Here's Elliot. Back to East. Oh, good. Hancock. Good tackle. I think he's going to be our main right back very soon. Paul McCann does well. It's into Agu. Agu tackled. Alec McCann takes over. Have a shot, someone. Here's Perry Webb. Back to Asili. Webb. Paul McCann. Yes. Ah, thank you, Paul McCann, for bringing some life to this match. That's a good finish as well, I must say. I mean, I thought Alec McCann was going to have a shot. Instead, he took his time and he allowed the defenders to catch up. But this is a great ball from Perry Webb. And Paul McCann smashes it into the ground and it bounces past the keeper. And that was all because of Hancock's great tackle. It's another free kick. Telford, Hancock does well. Paul McCann clears and now maybe we can break. Godwin. Hancock, oh my, he's better than Higgins. He is better than Higgins at this level. Here's Alec McCann. He's got support in the middle. Oh, it didn't quite reach him. It just didn't quite reach him. And Hancock's been beaten that time by Pope, who looks incredibly good and fast. But Donnelly, oh, good defending Donnelly. Our best defender of the season. Over the top for Agu. Agu's through. Agu! Oh, you have to finish those, Agu. We've been much better, though, haven't we? We've come alive. Right, Alec McCann's going to move there, and Agu's going to move into the middle. Godwin has not done that well today, but it's okay. I don't think I'm going to make any subs for the time being. Telford on the attack again, though. Here they come. Mella. Innes. Back to Mella. This looks dangerous. Uh-oh, Assini does well. Good defensive header, but they're still on the ball. O'Connor, this looks dangerous. I sense a goal. We're deep. But it's kind of working, isn't it? Because we're absorbing pressure and winning the ball back. Could go back to Godwin, knocking it long for Paul McCann. He's got Alec McCann in the middle. Come on, Alec. Yes! Yes! Oh, I think I've found a formula finally that is getting the best out of this system. It's working again. We're creating chances today against this Telford team. This was nice. Great ball from Godwin, I must say. What a ball. Paul McCann does everything perfectly. Everything that was required of him. He found the open Alec McCann, who had to score. I mean, I haven't seen these ratings for so long. But it still could all go wrong. It's a corner. Headed away by Agu. Averson heads away. Here's more. But yeah, this deep defending. It's effective. Mella to Innes. Back to Mella. Blocked by one of their own players, but they're still on the ball. But yeah, I mean, they're passing it around, trying to find space. That's good defending, but long-range effort, I think. Oh, it's wide. It's wide. I'm going to bring on Corey Hines because I'm kind of undecided on the sub-bench for the final. Corey Hines, if he can score again. I mean, he scored 3 goals in 2 games, but there's been a few games since then. But I think our back line is going to have to be this. Okoro, Hancock, Donnelly, Averson, Assini, Higgins on the bench. Ray Rigg on for Perry Webb for the last 4 minutes, sorry. It's whizzed by. Very pleasing result. This is the first result I've actually... I don't know, we've played well, and defensively we've played well. Perhaps I just needed to make those defensive tweaks all along. Bit frustrating if that's what I could have done earlier in the season. Here's Hines. A few seconds to go. I don't think we're going to have another chance. There we go. We end the season on a high. The Regen Rovers fans will go home happy after this. Okoro, first half, excellent. Saved a penalty, got us back into this game. Paul McCann and Alec McCann with goals to win us the game in the second half. Really pleasing stuff. And I'm feeling a bit more positive going into that final now. So this is how the league finishes. Regen Rovers in 13th place. 18 wins, 9 draws, 19 defeats, 76 goals scored, which isn't bad. Unfortunately, our defence was quite bad this year overall. 83 goals conceded. Just shows how important Okoro was, because he got very good average rating despite conceding that number of goals. 63 points though is not shabby at all for our first season at this level. Where would that have got us last season? 63 points, it would have been 13th. So yeah, it's about average for mid-table in this division. York City go up as champions. Aldershot, Wrexham, Newport County, Accrington, Tranmere and Yeovil will be fighting it out in the playoffs. I basically want the best team out of that lot to go up, just so we've got more of a chance of getting up high in the table. Eastleigh, Dagenham and Redbridge, Maidenhead and Dulwich Hamlet relegated from the National League. Now I will go and show you all the stats, show you all of that stuff in the end of season review, season 6 review, which will be out after the cup final, of course, which will be the next episode. So please make sure you tune in for possibly the most exciting game in Regen Rovers history so far. Our first trip to Wembley. Of course, we've won 2 league titles, which I wouldn't say this is the most important game, but it's the most exciting game because the lads, the guys from Winchester, are going up to London and we're going to be playing in our first major trophy, if you could call it that, because the Hampshire Senior Cup final, that's just a local competition. This is like the best non-league trophy to win, other than the National League. So I hope you guys are looking forward to the next episode. Until next time, enjoy Football Manager, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you very soon.